bit scared there. I did it. I know how to skate, you know. Quite a sick tonight,
Somehow I just started to look for the confirmation of my bias. And I decided to go with the flow and see where that would take me. And essentially what I created in my project was a dystopia, which is called People's Republic of Łódź, or Lodz. I decided to photograph certain things in Lodz that would remind me of Donetsk. I would talk to people. I would try to essentially create an alternative reality.
So I suppose my approach is influenced a lot by surrealism and what Ian Walker describes as the documentary surreal. So you take the very ordinary every day and you find chance on the street.
Lisbon, I didn't know Lisbon before, so it was really great. And when Nuno told me about this project, it was exactly what I love to do. Just get lost and discover a place. So
basically, I was quite interested with the concept of Flâneur. So my idea was to come to the city and to try exploring it, you know, as a flaneur.
As fotografias que eu expus no Flâneur vêm de um projeto que se chama Bang, e este Bang, que é uma coisa muito imediata, muito forte, de rajada, é o resultado das minhas deambulações e vadiagens pela cidade, essencialmente por Lisboa.
My force, my energy was very low and I really needed to rest. So I decided to adapt the commission to something that also could portray the moment where I was emotionally and physically. So the idea, I decided also that I wanted to stay in the hotel.
But when I was planning for this project, I also got interested in combining two types of pictures to make also outdoor street views and see how these pictures communicate with the studio pictures. So my idea was to show the surface in some way and then to show what kind of stuff pops out if you scratch the surface.
So we started studying even prior to go to the place, and we decided to find a series of elements we wanted to explore a bit more in depth. And being there, we started collecting information and material. That means taking pictures, meeting people, talking to people, etc., etc. So the time that we spent in situ, on site, has been just a time of gathering information, and we then elaborated one back in Milan.
I think it's really nice to have the pictures, the work out again on the street, because that's really like closing the circle. It's as I said, I start with an object in the street, which is my camera, and start communicating with people, and then it ends again with an object in the street, and people have to react to that object. So I really like this coincidence that the input is done in the same way as the output works. So that's really nice.
No meu processo há sempre uma mistura de intuição com um rigor, se quisermos também, de uma pesquisa em termos, neste caso em concreto, o que é que são as cidades hoje em dia. E neste caso em concreto colocou-se-me essa situação e de como é que eu vou abordar como é que eu posso dali desenvolver um projeto que de facto faça sentido e que continue, no fundo, a dialogar também com todo aquilo que eu tenho vindo a pesquisar e a desenvolver, como eu já disse.
Well, it was really hard to define this practice as something different from my ordinary practice, you know. So a starting point for me always is just hanging around without any proper direction. And
the first day, nothing particular in my mind. I just wanted to feel the city, and it's important not to focus on something, because otherwise I pass through important things. So I didn't want to study books about Lisbon before. I didn't want to have a proper idea, and I just wanted to be fresh.
And so suddenly this requirement of making square pictures added a bit of a challenge to the process. So I had to think in two formats at the same time, trying to make compositions that work in two different picture formats, 5x4 and the square formats.
I like it to be like a mirror because I'm photographing contemporary issues. So that's what we are. It's not that person in concrete, but that's the world we live in. So, and somehow I think I achieved that, and it creates what I like to. I think it quite happens. Is a mix between it's funny, but at the same time it's a bit scary, you know.
Não articula-se com as ideias que eu tenho sobre a deambulação fotográfica no meu trabalho. Parte muito por essa ideia de deambulação, de como é que se circula por um espaço urbano, e parte muito com essa ideia de uma grande aceitação daquilo que me é dado.
Looks very different to the way people would normally see it, and encourages their curiosity and gets them involved as well.
I mean, our working process, it's just constantly photographing, just all the time, quite obsessively, really, isn't it? And then selecting, trying to hone down and distill the essence of a place. In this particular occasion, we didn't really have as much time as we would have liked to explore, so we just had to make the most of every opportunity.
We decided that this would be maybe a different thing from the series we do itself, because the beamer projection was a lot more about an experience that you have. It was less about the single image and less about a perfectly composed image. It was really more about going into a dark room and experiencing the spaces we photographed projected onto planes and having a spatial experience.
The idea of normally when you make a show, it is very important. Well, I make books most of the time, and when you make a book, you control most of the process. But when you prepare pictures that are supposed to be shown in an exhibition, in a festival, it changes a lot when it's indoors. You never really know where they're going to be shown. And yes, maybe it was also playing with that idea of indoors, outdoors. Normally, the exhibition should be indoors, and my work should have been done outdoors. And we just did the opposite. I didn't take any picture from the street, but my pictures were in the street. So...
O meu território de eleição, na verdade, é os territórios periféricos. Mesmo dentro do centro da cidade, são as coisas periféricas. Não me interessa, na verdade, fazer um levantamento do espaço em si. Quer dizer, eu trabalho dentro do espaço, trabalho dentro de um território. Não trabalho focado nesse território.
Well, there is some are things that are like at the beginning you take these decisions, so it can be part of the conceptual part of the creative process, but others are just solutions given to the limitations of the space and the limitations maybe of lights. The room was small, so if I reduce the amount of wall and making the picture square, I could multiply the backgrounds in a way, because it's
So the images I showed were all taken from the high rise where I live, which is in East London. And it's a sort of quite heterogeneous neighborhood. Yet the views of London are the views we don't often see, because they are sort of the banal, the everyday, the rain, the neglected, the dismissed. So I'm interested in making that visible. I think there's a poetry within that banality of the everyday. And of course, Somerset House, the scene of the staging of the work is very different. It's the most beautiful, photogenic, elaborate building. So there's a contrast between the way London likes to show itself and its history, its significant history, and the contemporary city.
Por outro lado, de certa maneira, estou numa situação privilegiada, porque pelo menos conheci e frequentei muito o espaço onde a exposição vai ser feita. Portanto, conheço bastante bem o sítio, não é? A praça onde o trabalho vai ser colocado. E isso influenciou também um bocado a escolha das imagens, não é? Uma praça antiga, fechada, uma praça quadrada. E aí também começou a fazer sentido trazer esse espaço circundante da cidade para dentro da cidade. Portanto, é uma coisa bastante simples, uma ideia bastante simples, mas que começou a fazer mais sentido de trazer esse fora para dentro.
Riga, for me, but prior to going there, represented this place that I really knew nothing about, and I was aware it was a Soviet country and was sort of a point of tension for East and West, but aside from that, I had no idea as to what it was going to be like.
the thing, I needed to find a connection, and the connection that I found was the fact that I'm a working class person who's come, my family worked in factories all their lives, and we have worked our way up, the social kind of hierarchy, you could say. And I suppose the connection that I found was that these were also working class people. These were people that worked in, traditionally would have worked in the coal mines. And so at the time, the textiles industry and the coal mining industry, the working class spirit of these people, I felt was the same as people that, as my background.
Actually, I love the idea, but I took something from the city and from people, this intimacy, and I will give back more clearly to them. And I just borrow something and I give back with my digester, my sensitivity. I give back to the city.
É uma experiência relativamente nova, mas eu gosto gosto que o meu trabalho às vezes saia da parede da galeria, da parede do museu e cumpra outras funções em que as pessoas se relacionem com o trabalho de outra maneira.
O meu trabalho esteve exposto em Paris, estava na cidade universitária e é como há pouco estavas a dizer, muitas vezes aquilo eram usados como mesas, estás a perceber? Pontos de encontro e pontos de apoio. E no meio de outras conversas iam olhando para as imagens. Eu acho isso interessante. Acho interessante o facto de o público não ir todo de uma vez ver as imagens, vai passando, vai a caminho vai em trânsito para...
I think that is the people are, more open, if you want. I mean, they look at the pictures and they, you can have also, a group of friends together, 10 people together looking at the same image, around the image, which is great because you share ideas and while you share your lunch or, your beer.
Eu fico até muito satisfeito, acho que vai ser ótimo ver esse uso. Espero que haja esse uso, que não haja essa barreira de seriedade. Acho que este trabalho vai, pelo menos da maneira como eu pensei, tem esse lado também muito lúdico, quase, não é? de interação. Portanto, tudo o que acontecer eu vou achar bom.
Here we explain that it can be Flâneur, it can be a work that refers to Flâneur, walking, discovering way of life of a street photographer. It can be new urban, anything urban but new, and narrative. So it must be not a single work, but not a set of single photographs, but it must be a collection of photographs. So we're very much open to the adventure of what photographers are about to propose us in terms of what are those new urban narratives.
Era um projeto de rede de trabalho com várias entidades ligadas à fotografia a nível europeu e com um enquadramento na cidade, trabalhando a cidade a partir da fotografia contemporânea e exibindo os trabalhos produzidos no espaço público dessas mesmas cidades.
Well, it was a very interesting project when they first proposed it to us in at Cortona on the Move. First of all, because it comprehends different photo festivals, different experiences around Europe. So it becomes a way of looking at our cities from different points of views.
Uma das principais diferenças do projeto é trazer os trabalhos de arte contemporânea que têm por hábito estar nas paredes brancas dos museus, das galerias, e de artistas conceituados, que geralmente expõem nesses espaços, e apresentá-los no espaço público.
Flâneur project for me was the first time when I was really working in a project that is since the very beginning till the very end in every single dimensions based on networking and based on exchange, interaction with the viewers, with the curators, with the artists. Everything is linked.
Todos esses lados, esse lado do mundo se tornar mais pequeno e mais acessível, possibilitou criar um projeto com essa dimensão, envolvendo parceiros com vários parâmetros e de no fundo, de várias latitudes, vindo desde a Letônia, Lituânia, até a Espanha e Portugal, e Itália, passando por França, passando por Inglaterra, Irlanda, pelos vários países. Nós temos a volta de 14 países, temos a volta de 20 parceiros que trabalham em diferentes dimensões.
En este caso, el arte está en la calle y está a su alcance, ¿no? Pero bueno, es un punto más que yo creo que es importante, especialmente por eso, porque es una cosa de gran calidad, de una factura absolutamente impecable, puesta en un espacio céntrico de la ciudad, en el cual lo ponemos a disposición de todo el público, ¿no? Cual sea su relación con el arte, sea el que quiere verla desde una posición más lejana o sea del niño que quiere jugar con el espacio, ¿no?
I think the structures, the light boxes themselves are quite architectural as well. They're very strong. The people are able to walk over and on and in between the images and over them, in fact, as well. So I really liked how they changed the architecture of the public space when I saw them in Portugal, and that's something that we really wanted to bring to Derby as part of our festival in format, and to support to be seen all over Europe as well, in all the other places from Łódź to Hamburg and all the other locations that have been involved.
But for sure, they live the experience of Flâneur of like something that bring them closer to the artistic part of the festival. It's like let's say that Flâneur has been like something that put people closer to the festival, because the interaction with the structure, with the interaction with the picture was easier and more informal than come to us, pay for a ticket, go around Cortona, go in the location. So it's completely different, and that's why Flâneur is so strong.
I do think concept Flâneur is a real way to show art. It should be part of the everyday life. Shouldn't be in, only on galleries and for special people or restricted population. It can't be. It's part of life. You take something from the life and you put in a special place. I feel it's fine sometimes, of course. But this concept, Flâneur concept, is a real part of creation.
Foi surpreendente, foi a forma como é exposto, que é na rua, obviamente, que eu nunca tinha exposto, que se pode ver à noite, com uma iluminação que vem por dentro daqueles cubos, não é? E que se impõe na paisagem da cidade. Isso é que é surpreendente para mim, a maneira como está exposto, a maneira como o trabalho tem visibilidade. E isso eu gostei imenso.